Did Austin home prices just go up or did they go down? Zillow says they went down, but the Austin American Statesman said they went up. I'm Jeremy Knight, your favorite Austin realtor. Today I want to go through the Austin housing numbers. There's actually a ton to get through today. What's happening? The July numbers just came out. What's happening in the overall market? I just did a video last week that you watched on this channel about 15% of homes falling out of contract. If you didn't watch that video and you are in the market, whether you're in Austin or another market and you're looking to buy or you're selling, I highly recommend you go back and watch that video. And if you haven't followed us or haven't subscribed, you make sure you do that right now. So the Austin numbers just landed. I want to actually go through the Austin numbers first this time and then go back through some of the things that I'm seeing in the market because these numbers are a little different. So if I were to go look at Zillow just put out this article right here, which is talking about the amount home values going up or down. And they had Austin on this list as 6% down. If you look at this chart right here, it actually shows Austin 5.7% down year over year. Now, I think that's pretty interesting because if I go look at this Austin American Statesman article, this article says that home prices actually went up in Austin. So what are the numbers? What do they look like? Let's break them down right now. So these are the stats that come directly from the Austin Board of Realtors. So I trust these numbers more than I trust most other sites. And the reason why is Zillow in Texas, we are a non-disclosure state, which means that we do not disclose the sales prices and sales to companies like Zillow, like Redfin, all their other companies, because your sale is private, other though, when you close, it goes into the MLS, but the MLS is not necessarily tied to Zillow. So these numbers are directly from the Austin Board of Realtors. Now, this is the 5-county area, which is Williamson County, Hayes County, Travis County, Caldwell County, and Williamson County, what's the other one? Bastrop. These are all the counties combined, and I think it's really, really important because that Zillow article says 5.7 down. Well, the MSA, that 5-county area, was only down 3.3%, and they are saying on our numbers here, we're at $535,000. Here's where the interesting part, maybe I should have led with, we are in a buyer's market, buy, 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 buy. It might sound crazy, but it ain't no lie, baby, buy, buy, buy. But I'm a realtor, and you hate when realtors say that, so I won't say that. But here's what's interesting. 6.1 months of inventory. The methodology is typically when we hit 6 months inventory, we're more of a neutral market. In Austin, I've always said, anytime we get up over 4.5, 5 months, we're really moving into buyer territory as far as buyers being in control. But here's what's interesting. Last month in July, you have 2,800 homes going under contract. That's a 15% increase, but closed sales were down. And when we go back to the June numbers in my June video, June, we actually saw pending sales go up, but again, closed volume was down. Well, why is that? Well, remember, I just did a video about 15% of homes are backing out. So you can go see that video of why people are backing out of contract and maybe some tips to help you if you are buying or selling. Active listings rose 15.9%. So we have more inventory on the market right now than we've pretty much ever had at any point in the Austin area. So if I'm looking at buying a home and we're seeing Zillow saying prices are coming down, and we're gonna get to interest rates in just a moment. Interest rates have come down slightly. CME Group is like 99% that they are gonna see interest rates drop. And right now we're at 6.9%. God, I wish we were in the fives, but that's down from where we were earlier this year. We were hovering around 7%. So rates have been dropping. My expectation, if rates got down in the 6.25%, you're really going to see the market in Austin kind of flip again. So you tell me in the comment section whether you agree or disagree with that statement. Average close to list price ratio is about 93%, 15,000 homes on the market, more listings hitting the market as of right now, 6.1 months inventory. And here's why I say it's really tough to look at the MSA. We look at the MSA Bastrop, our neighbors to the east of us. Median home prices were down 2.7%, closed down. Inventory at 7.5 months of inventory. That is a lot of inventory. Again, if you're new to the channel, when I say 7.5 months of inventory, if not another home listed, it would take 7.5 months for all of those homes to sell. That's what that number means. If you want a way to relieve your stress, check out Viva Day Spa and Med Spa. Go online to their website. They have plenty of different options from facials, massages, couples massages, all of those things. Maybe you need something for your girlfriend. You messed up. Whatever the needs are, I think Viva is a great option. Look, they're friends of ours here at this channel, and the reality is I want to promote locally grown Austin companies, and Viva is one of those locally Austin grown companies here with 4 locations around the area. I just want to shout out good companies like this. And by the way, in the comment section, if you have a company or a local brand that you think I should be promoting, drop a comment below. I would love to promote them in a future video, but in this video, you should check out Viva. Pending sales were down a little bit. So it's actually pending wasn't down too bad. And that's partly to do because those interest rates are starting to come down and more buyers are jumping into the pool the last half of the year. So Caldwell County down 1%. So not as bad as I thought it'd be for Caldwell, but they're only at 4.5 months inventory. Let's go to City of Austin. And this is where those numbers, like you see a discrepancy when you look at the Austin American Statesman article and you look at this, we're at 2.2% up year over year at $590,000. That is wild to me. And why that is wild to me is I do not believe that those prices should be going up, but they are, because 6.9 months of inventory is so much freaking inventory. I've been selling real estate in Austin now for a little over 11 years, 12 years, and I have never seen 6.9 months of inventory. That is astronomically high. So if you're a seller, you have got to price that in because you are going to sit on the market. In fact, actually, I'll go over to Instagram real quick and show you a great stat on this. My friend Craig Souza posted this. And if you're not following me on Instagram, I think it's really important that you follow me on Instagram because I put a lot of these stories on there. And then I also post in my stories different things. So pay attention to there. But look, he showed this chart here. And so it's median price change in July. If you look around the MSA, close to Austin, it's not a downward trend, but everywhere around the Austin area, outside of the Austin area, is a dark blue. So 30% change, 20% change, 10% change. And his point is, like, depends on where you're looking to buy, you know, the market's different from all over, right? And so I think that's, depending on where you are going to go buy in the future, you really do have to understand those numbers and work with an agent that helps you understand those numbers. But look, in Austin, we saw, I mean, pending sales 981 for the city of Austin doesn't sound like a lot, but that is up 22% over last year. Why? Well, we're seeing mortgage rates start to come down. Buyers want lower mortgage rates, right? Because homes are expensive. Still, closed sales was down 1.7%, but that's not too bad if we consider the Austin area saw 15%. It was about 14.9% of homes cancel contracts. So if we take that out, there's more buyers in the pool, just buyers are being very cautious. Okay, so a couple quick, Hayes County down 4.6, they're kind of dragging us down, lots of inventory down there. Travis County overall up 1%, 6.9 months of inventory. Sorry, you're gonna be like, Jeremy, I wanted to hear more information about Hayes. Hayes is only 5.2 months of inventory. A second ago, I just said they had a lot of inventory, but it looks like people maybe aren't buying as much there. But again, pending sales up 26.4%. I continue to contradict myself in this own video. My editor is gonna have a great time trying to edit me and make me sound smart in this one. So that's Hayes County. Travis County obviously up 1%, but 6.9 months of inventory. It's so much inventory. I don't see that trend continuing, but let's look at the trends because, in fact, hold on, in 1 second, I'm actually gonna show you where all the new construction is. There's an article came out from the Austin Business Journal. I'm gonna make a story or a video about this for my Instagram and for the shorts on this, but I'll get to that in a second, so stay tuned for that. I think it's really important. But look at this. So these are trends for the last 3 years. We're going 2023 to 2025. If we look at 2023, we are way down from 2023 at 460 for the median for the Austin MSA, right? So that's the whole Austin area. But look at this, by September, it's possible that we see the MSA be year over year positive because look how far it came down. Or we're gonna continue to see the trend down. Look, if we look at this chart for 2025, we saw a high in June And I literally think that June was a faulty number because realistically, if you look at that trend line, it actually 464 and then over to 460 in July. So I think that trend was just, must have had like a couple really large sales that pushed that number up. That's gotta be what it is. But if we look at that trend comes down in price. So if I'm a home buyer right now, I am going, hey, we have a ton of negotiating room. There's tons of homes on the market right now, 15,000 to be exact. And prices until really that bottoms out, 2024 bottomed out in September, 2023 bottomed out in November. So are we gonna see a bottoming of prices really September to November? Probably. And what is going to be amazing is if interest rates do drop, then we're going to be in a really, really good spot. Let's look at the inventory real quick. Inventory is kind of all over the place. So if you're looking for a home over $1.4 million, you have 9 months of inventory basically. Where we have the least amount of inventory is under $400,000 at 4.6 months inventory, and then between 2 and 300 we have 4.8. But typically these are all homes, right? So that's gonna be more of the condos, townhomes, things like that, probably those smaller built homes. But interestingly enough, a stat that I wrote down, 60% of homes that sold last month were under $500,000 and only 49% were under $430,000. Somebody in the comments one time made fun of me and said, well, that's the median numbers. That's no wonder why it's only about 50%. I still like to use that number because the national average is around 430. So about 49%. Still, more people are buying homes under 500K and getting deals under 500K. Here's what I wanted to show. Oh, real quick on the rents. Rents year over year down about 2.2%. So they've come down a little bit. A lot of those people that they're the unintended homeowners or unintended landlords, they're probably gonna start putting them homes back on the market because rents are going down slightly. But we did see rents at a low of $22.75 back in November of 2024. So maybe we're gonna see rents come down that much in 2025. Georgetown has 31,000 new construction homes coming in the pipeline. Pflugerville, 17,000. Liberty Hill, only 3,700. Taylor, a lot of people are reaching out to me at Taylor because of all the news about what's happening with Taylor, Samsung, Elon, all that jazz. 8,500 homes in the market. Kyle, 43,000 homes coming up in the market. Dripping Springs is about 5,000 homes. Now here, why do I tell you that? If you are in the market and you are looking for the areas to get new construction, right, to get a lower priced home or get a deal with the builders, those are the areas. In fact, one thing I didn't talk about today was the builder confidence. Builder confidence is down in the 30s right now. One thing that I think is really, really important for everybody to understand is if builders start laying off, that is definitely a sign that we are in a recession. I'm curious, do you think that we're headed towards a recession? Do you think we're headed in the right direction? Right now, as the day of filming this, there's all these peace talks. So we might see peace talks come together for Ukraine, and that might really change the landscape. In fact, the stock market's looking up. One builder stock that I follow is NAIL, and that builder stock went up $5 today already. So builders, yes, builder sentiment is low, right? Anything over 50% is positive. So they're around the 30% range. Hopefully we see some of these builders not lay people off. Here's where the percentages are growing the most. Marble Falls, this is by Austin Business Journal. Marble Falls, 24% increase in people moving there. Dripping Springs, 18%. Liberty Hill, 15%. Lockhart, somebody just made fun of me on one of my videos saying that Lockhart isn't actually a suburb of Austin. Well, tell that to the Austin Business Journal, Sam702, that you can't even look at his profile. I love those guys. That 9.9% increase, Bastrop, 8% increase, Manor, 5%, Taylor, 2.3, and then the negatives are Bee Cave. People are leaving Bee Cave, people are leaving Lakeway, and people are leaving Westlake Hills. Mustang Ridge, I don't even think that's an area. It is, but it's southwest. 0.4%. For Austin. Cedar Park barely grew anybody. Lago Vista saw slight growth. So a lot of information there. I think overall the market is going through a lot of interesting things. There is some information coming out about mortgage delinquencies hitting a high, I guess. but I think it's really important to look at the overall delinquencies, because somebody in the comment section is going to say something about delinquencies. They're at 3.8. They're actually a little bit below that. So they're actually kind of trending down from the high of this year. If you're interested in buying foreclosures, I did do a video about buying foreclosures. When people hear foreclosures, a lot of times they think of 2008 when there was all these homes that were foreclosures. The thing is, typically those homes are going to auction, and so you have to pay cash for those at auction. If they don't, then they go back to the loan holder and they're REO'd out for foreclosure. So we haven't seen a ton of those REOs hit yet. Do you think we'll see more REOs, and are they gonna hit the Austin area? I don't know. I'm Jeremy Knight, your favorite Austin realtor. If you haven't subscribed and listened to this long-winded video, you really should, because statistics show your life might get a little bit better if you subscribe. Also, follow us on Instagram. I'm doing a giveaway for Viva Massage and Spa. Those guys supported us on this channel, so I appreciate them. In fact, we'll probably throw a little skit in here for them. Yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Make sure you follow us on all things except for TikTok.